pizza recipe. I already put the 4.5 cups of flour in. Now we're doing the 2 teaspoons of sea salt. Alright, I'm gonna add the 1/4 teaspoon of active dry yeast. Alright. I'm gonna add the 1 1/2 cups of water. It can be any temperature, by the way. Okay. Now, make sure it's locked in on all places, and then you put it onto the lowest setting. And then you want to have a rubber spatula. You just want to scrape it off the sides. Do not overmix. After a few minutes of kneading, it's going to look like a ball. But we did have to add a little bit extra water. So if you need to, do it, it's fine. But if you add too much, just add a little bit of extra flour and it'll be perfect. All right, now we are going to take a container, the lid, don't mind that. We're gonna take a container with the lid, as you can see it fits. Grab some olive oil, little sprinkle, put it in, lid. Now that's gonna rest at room temperature, 12 to 24 hours. So now that our dough has been resting at room temperature for about 14 hours, we're gonna take it and then put it in the fridge for 2 days. It's very important and it'll make your pizza way better. Okay, so now our dough has been sitting in the fridge for 2 days and look at it. It looks beautiful. So now take some flour, put it on your counter, and then we're gonna dump our dough out onto it. Okay. Oh, that looks amazing. All right, I'm just gonna add a little more flour around it. All right, we're gonna put a little bit of olive oil on our hands so that the dough doesn't stick to our hands. Now I'm gonna knead it. And it just smells so good. It smells like sourdough. What we're gonna do is, after we make our dough a ball again, we are going to get a knife and cut it into 4 pieces. Now we cut it. Okay. And now push it together, cut it again the other way. And now I know they're a little bit uneven, but you can just cut a little bit more because they stick together very easily. And here now we have two nice portions of dough, and they're basically the exact same. And now we want to make them all into little balls. After we've made our dough balls, you want to put them on a sheet like this that is very lightly floured. And now we're gonna take plastic wrap and we're gonna wrap a very thin layer around it. Very thin, very thin. So now we put that. Now we break it off. So now, after sitting out for about 4 to 5 hours, our dough is now ready. So what I'm gonna do is put a tiny bit of flour before we do anything, and then we're gonna roll it. And now what we do is you use your hands, your knuckles, and you kind of like push it out slightly. And you always want to check to make sure that nothing's, getting too stuck. But don't use your fingers because you will definitely rip the dough if you use your fingers. Now, after doing that for a while, pizza's ready. All right, and now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do it a little differently than Nick does it. I'm gonna use a solo stove pizza oven instead of just a regular oven. So we're gonna get our pizza peel. Now we're gonna put some semolina flour on it. And now we wanna kinda lift it up and then push it onto the pizza peel. The first thing you do, shake so that you don't lose the pizza halfway through you're making it. I'm gonna use this classical tomato sauce. It's easy to open. And the first thing you wanna do is go with a tiny bit of tomato sauce. That way you can just see how much you actually need, and so you don't overdo it. I'm gonna add some more because we need a little bit more on here. Okay, now I've done all my tomato sauce. Now I'm gonna add some cheese. I know, Nick, you tell me not to buy pre-grated cheese, but this is all we had. And you never want to put too much cheese because it's all gonna like melt together. Okay, so now we've added all our cheese and we want to shake it. Okay, and now we bring it out to our oven. All right, this is the pizza oven I recommend if you're ever gonna get one. Solo stove. It's a really, really, really good pizza oven. Cooks them amazingly. And now we gotta check the temperature. 670 degrees. That's perfect. All right, now we have our pizza here. We're gonna put it in the oven. Perfect. And by the way, this is only gonna take like a minute or two to cook, so I would recommend standing in front of the oven the whole time. And by the way, you gotta make sure to turn it around about 30 seconds to a minute through. Just once you see that the other side has a golden brown crust. All right, now we have to turn our pizza because as you can see, it's getting pretty hot. You gotta turn it, and then we're gonna put it back in the oven. Now we're gonna turn it again. Sorry, I videoed a little late. And put it back in the oven. Right. Okay, now our pizza is ready. We're gonna take it out. Okay, so our first step is going to be to cut the pizza. I know I did it a little off center, I don't care. Cut it. Okay. Okay, and now the next step is to add your toppings. Okay, so you can put some basil on there, you can put tomatoes on there, or you can also put Mike's Hot Honey. Best pizza topping ever. Shout out to Mike's Hot Honey for this. Bon appetit. By the way, Nick, you can also grab a bunch of arugula and just a touch of balsamic.